All right. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. This is Derek Lane of the podcast, The Fast Lane. Thank you for joining me tonight. Studio audience, thank you so much for being here, being a part of this. Thank you. Thank you, guys. I appreciate your support. The Fast Lane, you can find The Fast Lane on iTunes, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Spreaker, SoundCloud. I said iTunes, yeah. Okay, but anyway, the website is fastlanepodcast.com. Derek Lane, and tonight's subject will be on character and how important it is to maintain your character, your reputation, just your overall being who you are, and how others perceive you, how you perceive yourself, how others perceive you, some of the things that you can do to again maintain your character, to build your character, and take stock if your character needs a little pick-me-up, a little band-aid here and there. I think most of the people that will listen to this podcast definitely understands the value of character. So let's get into it a little bit. You know, I think we've all heard the terminology, your reputation precedes yourself. Well, what does that mean? It sounds a little fancy in some regards. What it actually means is that if someone says that to you, they've heard of you. They know who you are, or at least they've heard your reputation. They've heard your character. So if your reputation precedes yourself, you better make damn sure it's a good reputation, not a bad one, because it can go both ways. Your reputation precedes yourself. Those are good words to hear, because they've heard of you. First off, they know who you are. But if you've protected your character and you're living by the golden rule, chances are you're going to have a good reputation, a good character. Character traits have different aspects. Attitudinally, in a danger situation or survivor situation, character traits can range from courageous to cowardice. So there again, how are you perceived? Are you a courageous person, or are you a cowardice person? Importance, when people depend upon you, your character, is it a conscientious character or careless? When people say, you can't depend on that guy, that's not a good character trait to have. It's you need to be she is very conscientious. You can depend on that person. Again, building your character, having the people understand who you are. And if you need help in these areas, that's why we're talking about it tonight. Maybe think about, maybe I need to self-evaluate and do a little better job in certain areas. When you're faced with difficulty, is your character one of a determination, or are you discouraged? Do you just put your head down and say, "Oh crap, man, here we go again, another crap fest"? Or are you saying, "Hey, we can work through this. We can do it. I've done it before, and if I need help, we'll get it." People know who you are. Are you determined, or do you give up? Abilities, to do things is another avenue. Are you confident, or are you an unsure person? Do you exude confidence when people say, talk to that guy, he can do it. Talk to that girl, she can do it. Or I don't know. You probably don't ask them. They don't really have a lot of confidence in what they're doing. Abilities, and then next it would be your effort. A big one. Are you a hard worker? Do people see you as a hard worker? Do people see you as someone that gives it 100%? I never like the term 110. It's not real. 100%. Do you give somebody 100%? Or are you lazy? Do you, I mean, seriously, there's a bunch of nice people out there. Bunch of nice people that are conscientious, determined, confident, but they're lazy. You can't be lazy. I've talked about that in one of my podcasts prior to this one about laziness. You look to garner the life that you want, the things that you want, the success that you see yourself in. You got to work hard at it. You got to put in. That's just the way it works. So the traits of the attitudinal traits, if it were, mean a lot going toward your character. I understand that. Another trait of character is integrity. Can people trust you? Do they have a reason to doubt you? Little things add up. From I'll be there at 7 o'clock, and it's 7:15. Every time you tell somebody you're going to be there at 7 or 8 or whatever time it is, and you're always 15 minutes late, you realize that damages your credibility. In small ways, it damages your character. If this guy can't show up, and what have we all heard? If you're not 15 minutes early, you're late. Okay, so if you're 15 minutes late, you're a half hour late. So your time period, your timestamp damages your credibility. Integrity goes a long way. Do you insult people? Are you always attacking other people? I mean, maybe it's something that you don't even know. But let's say you're out with a coworker, or potential sales client, and you're out for dinner, and hey, look at that guy. Look what that bozo's wearing. I can't believe he's wearing that. Look at this bozo. Can you believe that? Listen to the way that guy sounds. He sounds like a goofball. Hey, listen. Tearing people down does nothing for your character. Okay? Maybe not everybody is as educated as you are. Maybe not everybody has the luxuries that you afford. Tearing them down only tears yourself down. You may not realize this, but when you tear people down and people around you listen to it, they think a little differently of you. The old saying, if you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. That's the best approach. Again, your character is it's paramount to your success. Who you're going to be, who you want to be, and how people see you. It could be the slightest thing. You've got a hot client you're ready to make a sell to, and you have, it's all going great, and you've agreed to close the deal over lunch, and you pull one of these little stunts, like you feeling comfortable, and you in your mind, who you are is a little biased, a little prejudiced against, whatever, any socialistic person that doesn't meet your requirements, and you let it be known, man, deal killer right there. Another reminder, you have to be positive all the time. You have to be positive all the time. Find the good in people. Okay? That's how you build your character. When you're gone from this planet, you no longer exist on this planet. You want to leave a legacy? What is that legacy? It's going to be someone that says, hey, old Bob was he was such a positive guy, such an inspiration, loved being around him, never had a bad thing to say about anybody. Now that's what we want to be remembered as. But unfortunately, people out there go, man, this guy just found fault in everybody. This guy, always looked at the glass as half empty. Don't be that person. Don't be that person. Your character is vital to your success. You've got to build on it. You've got to maintain it. You've got to live it, breathe it, be it. Your character is who you are. You can do all the other studies and be the smartest guy in the room, but if your character sucks, you're not going to go far. Helping or hurting. It's a phrase I heard many years ago, but it's a very simple rule. Are you helping or are you hurting? When you talk, when you speak, even your gestures and your facial expressions, are you helping or are you hurting? If you're not helping, stop it. You need to engage in being a helpful person every time out. Every time out. And I don't care if you're selling something to somebody or if you're just who you are at the grocery market and you got nothing to prove to anybody. You're just, you're going to get some bread and some milk and what have you. Be of character, because you never know. You never ever know who you're impressing. And it doesn't matter. If you live your character like you're supposed to, you'll live your character no matter what you're doing. Your character has to be congruent with your values, has to be congruent with your mental, positive mental outlook. It is who you are and what you represent. Are you a superficial person? Is everything that you do is about you? Does the world revolve around you, and anything outside of that, it doesn't matter? It's crap. Well, maybe your character isn't as strong as you'd like it to be, or you think it is. People with strong characters, number one, they give. They understand that not everybody is as lucky or blessed as they are. So they understand the value of helping, lending a helping hand. Is your value that of again, someone that nurtures people, that gives a hand up? Do you feel like that? Are you better than someone else? Well, you may be in a better place. You may drive a better car, live in a better house. But we have a short time on this earth. Okay? A very short time. And if you don't understand that human beings are all connected, and you can lose everything you've got, everything you've worked your butt off to obtain, you can lose it overnight. So being humble, being respectful toward others, you have to be that way. When you wake up in the morning, you should be giving thanks to to the higher power, if you will, whoever you give your higher power to. For me, it's the Lord. So give thanks for everything that you've got, everything that you've attained, all of the values that you hold dear to you, everything in your life, your family, your friends, the possessions that you hold dear, which again aren't, if you make enough money, you can go out and buy you a Porsche. That's fine.